let's play Lindsey Graham Libs. Everyone at home knows the rules, but just in case you've forgotten them, Senator, we're going to read you a sentence, and you're going to fill in the blank with a word or a short phrase. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right, let's put 60 seconds up on the clock, or some amount of time. Senator, first Graham Lib. If the Iranian nuclear deal currently on the table is completed, the world can expect blank.
Chaos.
Chaos, all right. If the deal falls apart, America and its allies should blank.
Make sure they don't break out and develop a nuclear weapon.
Okay,
Excellent.
Those are good answers. We're going to now shift a little bit to Republican politics, all right? When Lindsey Graham heard about Chris Christie's entitlement reform pitch yesterday in New Hampshire, he thought the New Jersey governor was being blank.
Late to the party.
Okay. After announcing that he was running for president this week, Marco Rubio should be most concerned about blank.
Too talented.
Being too
talented. Too talented. All right, we're going to come back to that. All right, here we go. Hillary Clinton's campaign launch video would have been better if she blank.
Had realized the Masters is a big deal.
All right, here we go. A couple personal questions here. Lindsey Graham is different from the other official and potential 2016 presidential candidates because he always blanks.
Too honest.
Okay. Tells the truth. I think we would. There you go.
Too honest.
Okay, too honest. All right. The biggest misunderstanding about Lindsey Graham is blank.
That I'm not John McCain's actual son.
All right.
Okay.
When Lindsey Graham goes to Chipotle, he orders blank.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I knew. You know what? As I was looking at this question, I knew you were going to say that. I am Karnak. All right. After hearing that Justin Bieber got thrown out of Coachella, Lindsey Graham said to himself, blank.
You've hit bottom.
Okay. And finally, when Lindsey Graham imagines...
Why am I doing this?
When Lindsey Graham is asked to predict the next president of the United States, Lindsey Graham predicts...
Not Hillary.
Okay.
Not Hillary.
Fair enough.
Well, let me ask you about that, Senator. You know, we asked people all the time. We asked Mary Madeline the other night, would Hillary be easy to beat if she's a Democratic nominee or tough to beat? What do you think?
I think she'd be tough to beat, but beatable.
And why beat? Why readily beatable?
Because she is tied to a failed presidency, and it's hard when you're running for a third term from a party, for the party to maintain the White House and for 3 terms is particularly hard when the president you're trying to replace you're associated with and not a popular presidency.
And when you look at what she's done or alleged to have done or might have done regarding handling of her personal email while she was Secretary of State, what's the single part of that episode that most concerns you?
Why you created the system to begin with, was it really convenience or something else? But here's where she's most exposed. If you can find one email sent from her private account to a private account of a State Department employee that talks about business, then she's in trouble.
Well, I think they've already basically acknowledged there is such a thing. Why would that?
Really?
Why would that be such a problem?
No, she said she sent from her private email account to people in the State Department to their business account. What I'm saying is, did she send an email on her private account to someone else's private account about business? Because that would undercut the narrative that everything on the private server was just personal stuff related to the family.
I think they may have acknowledged that occasionally she did that, but perhaps it's other government business, not to a government official. We'll see.
No. They said that they erased all the emails because they were personal in nature. Everything that was business, they saved.
Okay. I want to go back to your 2 answers, Senator, about Republican candidates. You said that Chris Christie yesterday, by making this big, bold speech on entitlement reform, Social Security reform, you said he was late to the party. Explain a little bit more about what you mean by that.
Well, I've been working on this I worked with Bush to reform Social Security. I've worked with Rand Paul and Mike Lee to do a Social Security reform bill. This one, the second thing I talk about on the stump is containing radical Islam, keeping the war over there so it doesn't come here, and the retirement of the 80 million baby boomers. But I want to say this about Chris. Well done. I'm glad you're talking about it. Everybody running for president of the United States should be talking about how will you save Medicare and Social Security from being wiped out from the retirement of the baby boomers. So I want to give him credit.
Okay, let me ask you about the other question, the Marco Rubio. You said too talented. What did that mean?
No, I think when Marco is a really great giver of a speech, incredibly nice fellow. He's going to have to prove that he's ready to be commander-in-chief.
I'm going to play one more game of Graham Libs here. If Lindsey Graham were in the room with Vladimir Putin alone, Lindsey Graham would say what to him?
You got to knock this off. This is unacceptable. What you're doing in the Ukraine will not stand. You will pay a price for this. You always give your adversaries a backdoor to kind of reset, but just to let the president of Russia know that the days of running amok and intimidating your neighbors are over. If you want a good relationship, you can have one, but you're going to pay a price as long as you stay in the Ukraine. And when it comes to putting a missile defense system in Poland, it's going back. When it comes to putting one back in the Czech Republic, it's going back. NATO is going to get stronger in your backyard, and it's a direct result of the way you're behaving. If you want a better Russia, then you need to behave better, because what you're doing is not going to be accepted by me, the American people, or our allies anymore.
You should probably offer him a cup of coffee as well. That's the only piece of advice I have.
Senator, before we let you go, you're not an announced presidential.
He could pay. He could pay. By the way, he's doing pretty well.
You're not an
Apparently, it's a good gig.
You're not an announced presidential candidate yet, but if you did run, what would be your campaign slogan?
Security through strength.